40-minute drive.
Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Joining me today is Brandon Young. Again, we're going to continue this series of Off Amazon, where we bring in key players in the space to give their ideas, attribution, and some tests, etc., that they've carried out over time. Brandon, while shared to the groups, would you like to just give yourself an introduction quickly?
Yeah, good morning, Danny. Well, afternoon, evening for you. So, wife and I are 8-figure Amazon sellers. We also teach others how to research, start, and grow their own business with our coaching program called Seller Systems. That's pretty much it.
Cool. All right. So let's go over some of the stuff, but just a quick outline today. As I said in the show notes, we're going to talk a bit about overspill traffic. We're going to talk about attribution, and we're also going to talk about like a pre-launch, preparing to launch, and how those facets all kind of affect things. So without further ado, do you want to get underway?
Yeah, so it was an interesting topic that you had brought up, and it's something that we've been looking into quite a bit because as you grow on Amazon, I think that the importance of building up a brand and building up an audience off of Amazon, understanding how to do marketing on other channels, expanding to other channels becomes more and more important. The utility of it increases as your business grows on Amazon. So first I'll say, like, if you're just starting, if you've only just launched one product or a few products and you're just learning how to do Amazon private label, do the research, and learn the processes in that huge learning curve, then all of the research, brand building, off Amazon, marketing, other channels, I think are more of a distraction and have less utility. Yeah. So, but as you grow and as you start to launch more and more SKUs, you have the ability to capture an audience that is passionate about your brand and real customers. So the long-term value of those customers increases. So what we like to do is use very aggressive insert cards with calls to actions to bring people into our funnels. And so I think today I want to speak more about just funnels and all the different possibilities out there, because people need to understand what a funnel is, how it works, and what the purposes are ultimately and what the benefits are ultimately, right? So if you're thinking about funnels, you have to think about at the top, you're trying to capture as many people into the funnel as possible. So you have many different ways you can do that. You have content on different ad platforms. You have websites that people can stumble across. You have SEO. You have ads you're running across these different funnels. Another way is that you have those insert cards within your current products. And so you're asking them either to become a product tester for you, that you have a free gift for them, that you're going to extend their warranty, that you have a bonus that came with their product. So either an ebook or something like that everyone was doing back in the day, which can still be effective depending on the product. Did you have something?
Yeah, I was going to say that going back to your point, if you've got one product, forget it. If you're not doing 100K or more a month, forget it. You should be focusing on Amazon and getting that right before you go into that. The thing, again, what we're talking about, being that you're an 8-figure seller, a lot of the listeners of Seller Sessions are more higher level rather than new into the space and stuff. But it is good to clearly say as well, it's like, the insert card stuff works really well at scale, right? You're dropping shit ton of products on a yearly basis. If not every 3 months, you're just churning out, right? So you've got that all tides rising effect, because you've got to look at the volume of products that sell through and the attention given to those cards, and then the conversion. So if you've only got one product, it's going to be a struggle. But if you've got a shit ton of products, it makes a lot of sense to start building that scale out earlier and work out your funnel. Like you said, you start at the top of the funnel. You're looking at the directive of what traffic that you want to bring into that funnel, because you want to qualify this traffic as well. Amazon's obviously a good place to start. If you've got a low price product, for instance, and sell like high volumes, you can really take advantage of that. So outside of just the guarantees, I mean, I mentioned this on the show, but we've all done it. If you look at when I was doing a conversion optimization show last week, I was talking about what's their name? The big electronics company from China that everyone knows about. They sell lighting. Anchor. Yeah. I mean, do you remember? I don't know if you did it. I know we all did it back in the day. We took the Anchor card where you flipped it over and it's a smiley face, sad face, and they were just about on the inside of terms of service. Like them cards work really well. But again, it comes down to volume. So what do you do when you're designing these kind of cards in your scale level? And look at what kind of attribution you look in terms of a conversion rate.
Yeah. So the problem is that it really depends on the product, right? Because no one's going to want to register a warranty for a $12 toy.
Yeah.
But if you offer a free gift, then you have to wonder what that cost of acquisition is for that customer and whether it's worth it for you as well. So even if you're sending a product that costs you $1 from Alibaba or $1 landed, and then you're sending it in the mail and you have to send it to them, then that's a few dollars, maybe $3 to $5 per acquisition that you're bringing in for a customer that you know purchased your product previously. So the question becomes, how do you then utilize that person and create a lifelong value from that customer that exceeds that $3 to $5 it costs you to bring them? Right. So everything becomes about those conversion rates that you're talking about when you bring them into that funnel. And then it's a matter of what did it cost me to get them there? And then how am I going to best maximize the value of that person once they're in my list and in my funnel? Yeah. Because then how you re-engage that person matters a lot too, because you have open rates that are an issue. You have many of them will just never see another communication from you. If you send them emails, for example, then you know that the average open rate for an email is 3 to 5%. If you're lucky, it might get to 20, 30%. If it's a really warm list, it might even be half, but it's never really that. So you're talking about 70% of your email list is just never going to open their emails, and at least. And so you spent $3 to $5 on, let's say, 1,000 people each. That's 5,000. Let's call it $5,000. You've just basically lit on fire 70% of the list. That's a lot of money that you have to make up with that other 30%. So that now you need to not only just make up the $3 to $5, you need to make up the $3 to $5 for the other ones you lost as well. So it's actually triple that. Now, with regards to the insert cards, what we're looking at is like, how do we best engage people? Now, if you're building out a large brand, and so like to your point as well, when you're just selling 100 products a day, even, and you've got a take rate of 2%, that's 2 people a day signing up for your list. That's not a large amount. It's not going to be enough to really drive any change or be able to launch anything. It's not going to be a large launch list or really be able to engage you, especially when you have that drop off after that engagement, right? Because you're not going to be able to re-engage them. But if you're selling 2,000 products a day like we are, then it starts to make a difference. But, so what are the different enticing things you can put on those insert cards besides just register a warranty? And that free gift can be a good one, but I recommend that you make sure that you register them in many different ways, not just email, but you want to get them, get their phone number and use SMS. SMS is phenomenal. Open rate.
Because the open rates are nearly perfect, aren't they? They're like 95%.
Everyone sees their text message, right? Whether they ignore it or not is one thing. But as soon as they opt in, they get a message. They're notified that they're opt in, and you're dangling a carrot anyway, usually, which is, hey, I've got a product that I'll give you for a large discount or free to test the next product. We could use your help, things like that. So your language at that point matters, and you have to test different messages that matter because different audiences require different messages. Now, I don't even know I don't do supplements, but I know that a lot of the guys in that space give away another free bottle of what you just purchased, or even 2 free bottles of what you just purchased, right? Because the conversion rate, I mean, their margin is just so high that they can afford to do that, still make money on that customer, and then they want to get that review, and they're willing to basically pay anything for that review because they have to cheat in that industry because it's
the other it's a consumable as well. So looking at long-term value of the customer, what they measure
value is there because you got the reorder rate, and
whereas I know you sell toys, but not people coming back and buying from your brand on a monthly basis religiously, are they? So.
Yeah, that's the difficult part, right? Because if you engage the customer and you bring them into a rewards program like we're building out, then you've got, if you've got a 4-year-old daughter or a 5-year-old daughter, then you know that she's got a bunch of friends that are going to have birthdays throughout the year. She's going to have a birthday. And so if you get them into a birthday club and then you get them into a rewards program that allows them to buy gifts at a cheap rate for their friends when they have to go give a gift, and then you can constantly market gifts to that age range and like that 5-year-old girl age range, 5 to 7-year-old girl, then, now you're building value. But again, that's why the utility of this type of approach works better when you have a larger brand and you can scale it. So besides just insert cards, then you're talking about things like Facebook ads. And the big gorilla in the room was that everyone was using ManyChat. I was teaching ManyChat, and we were really getting good at creating flows and really engaging the audience and re-engaging them, and being able to use ManyChat and audiences within ManyChat to launch products, to basically do anything we asked them to do. Now, at the time, we were always asking people to try to sweep those people into private Facebook groups, because that way you can re-engage them within the Facebook group. You're not, necessarily bothering them too much on Messenger. Over the last 6 months, Messenger and Facebook have become a real problem. So you basically have a one and done situation where people come in through a Facebook ad into ManyChat. You engage them with your flow. You have to be super careful what you're talking about. You can't even mention the review at all, which I don't recommend usually. And if you do, now you're violating potentially Facebook standards, because they have it's against Facebook's terms of service to give any type of incentive for a review on any other platform either. Like, Facebook's enforcing that, and you can lose your Facebook account and your ad account, and your Facebook page can get shut down and all of that. So you bring them into Facebook Messenger, through ManyChat, you have a flow with them, you engage them, you give them like a rebate, and you offer them a rebate, or a discount. You send them over to Amazon. They spin a prize wheel, they put a discount in, you get an add to cart from it. Maybe they convert, maybe they don't. They come back, you ask them if they converted. Now you need to, at that time, capture as much information as possible, because if you don't, you've lost them forever. Like, you have to then pay again to try to get them to come back into your bot. Otherwise, you can't send them.
This is why you got perpetually put out products, because we're talking about someone launches, say, 3 or 4 products a year. They build a great launch list, and then as soon as they're done, it's cold. Whereas with you've got related products all the time. So that list can be constantly kept warm all the time, because you see the difference in the conversion rates after 3 months, after 2 months. They've got to be re-engaged on a consistent basis. And that goes for ManyChat as well.
Yeah, and even on ManyChat, though, like, you just can't even send them another message. It's against terms of service to send a message outside 24 hours. So if you didn't sweep them to a landing page to get, and now we're bringing everyone to a landing page, and we're trying to get a phone number so that we can do the SMS. We're trying to get an email so we can engage them that way, and we're trying to bring them then to a Facebook group so we can message them there. So we have like several other touch points. And Messenger, we're just considering we're never going to message them again on Messenger. We have no follow-up flows. We have no re-engagement flows. We have no desire whatsoever to go into our list and send them a blast or an email or any type of engagement, which really, kills that value. So the funnels that, are starting to create, and if you think again about like how you're bringing people originally into your funnels, and then how you're engaging them once they're in the funnel, and what carrots you're dangling to get them down to a conversion for you, and what your ask is, you're thinking about, where's the best place for me to engage them to get as much information as possible, and how do I maximize that lifelong value? We think that the best place to do that is going to be on your own website. It's not going to be on ManyChat anymore, within ManyChat or Messenger, because first of all, if you're doing insert cards and you're driving to Messenger, there's a percentage of people that don't have Messenger. You just lose that audience immediately. Then you have the issues with engagement, even though that's your customer that you brought to Messenger from another source, a QR code, whatever it is, a link. Messenger still has the same rules apply with regards to engagement. There is no opt-in to where someone can opt in and just get as many messages as they want because they want to hear from you. That's not even an option. So the best bet is to bring them to your own website and have some kind of communication with them, whether it's a web-based chatbot, whether it's a form that they fill out, and then you give them a reward or whatever it is that you want to give them. And then you re-engage them again with that email, SMS follow-up sequence, and try to get them, if they have Facebook, into a Facebook group. I'm really big on building up Facebook groups with like-minded people. Now, there's several approaches there. Do you bring them into what you would call like a branded group for your brand? That's not going to have much engagement. People are going to pretty much ignore that group, and the less they engage with it, the less they're likely to be shown any updates in it or messages from it. So do you bring them into a group about that niche? Like, let's say it's parents. Do you bring them into a parenting group? or something like that? Do you bring them into a deal group where now you're setting the expectation that this person's always going to get a deal, and then you don't want to necessarily do that either, because you don't always give away your products. Like, you want to try to build up. What we do is we segment the list. We've got people that are willing to buy the product for less than 50% off, and we got people that only want deals. And we use them in different ways because we know what they're willing to do. And so someone that always wants a deal, we've got to dangle a deal for them, or we need to get that full rebate and we need to hit a certain number, then we engage that group. If we know that our take rate on a toy for that less than 50% group is only 20%, then we got to send it to 100 people to get 20 engagements, right? So we have to treat each list differently as well.
So just to ask you a question, chatbots are just not my wheelhouse. I've never really got into them personally.
You didn't miss anything.
What are the benefits now with that limitation to one message, and you say you've invested in an audience that you get one single shot at, and you've got cost per clicks going up? Where is the benefits there? Why would people still use them today, for instance?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really difficult to say why people would still use them. I think that there are a lot of advocates for them, the people that have invested a lot of money into software for them, and are, you've invested into an infrastructure and you just don't have an alternative at this point, then it's probably something that you're using in the short term, but you need to be moving to something that's more web-based, I think. Now, it's easy to run ads and direct them to a landing page, just as easy as it is to bring them into Messenger. And so my question is, where is the higher cost per click? And typically the Messenger ad funnel was more expensive than bringing them to a landing page anyway. So I don't see the benefit anymore. I really don't.
Yeah. So where else, other than taking to the website, what are you doing in terms of what you're building on WordPress? Are you spinning up a landing page from a software? What are you doing in terms of when you bring that traffic in? How are you making sure that you optimize browser validation, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we've been testing a bunch of different platforms. Like Shopify has some great plugins for it. Just this week, I'm testing. Elite Seller just released a brand new marketing funnels that they're in beta for, where it does all sorts of different engagement, re-engagement for you, and it's web-based. It can activate, you can do rebates within their funnel as well. So like it handles a lot of the heavy lifting for you and is supposed to be pretty plug and play and easy. So I'm excited to see that. I think, as you know, Danny, everything changes in this industry so often. So it started off like everyone was doing, different types of rebates and engagement on Facebook ads, and like without Messenger, like it was just Facebook groups and back in the day. And then deal groups were a thing and all of that. And then Messenger came around and ManyChat came around, and that became like the biggest thing. It was the easiest thing in the world. And then Seller Tools and a couple of these other softwares really went all in on ManyChat and made it super easy to automate rebates and automate like giving someone a gift card or something. And now I think the next generation is that it's that same automation with gift cards and rebates and everything is going to happen, but it's going to happen off Amazon through something like Elite Seller.
Gotcha. And in terms of external traffic, you're doing any other experiments at the moment as well to send signals to Amazon? Like, are you using Pinterest or YouTube?
So this is part of the conversation, which is like people need to understand that you have many different traffic sources that you have to consider. We're in the process of testing quite a few of these, but if you think about all the different places you can send traffic, you have to be careful of a few different pitfalls and a few different traps. And this is what I want to warn people listening. So Amazon loves outside traffic, but they don't like certain outside traffic. And then if you use certain outside traffic too frequently, then you're going to get in trouble. For example, if you're sending traffic from within Messenger directly to Amazon without using a redirect link, Bitly, Pixelfy, something like that, then Messenger actually adds a token to the link before it arrives to Amazon, and Amazon can detect that, right? And they always know what the referrer is what that's called. And this is particularly with a token. So with that Messenger token in there, if you send too much traffic, Amazon's going to punish you because they think you're cheating, even if you're not. It's pretty bullshit. But at the end of the day, like, you're going to get a warning, and Amazon's going to think something's up, even if there is nothing. Like, even if you're completely compliant, you're just sending your own traffic, right? But at the same time, if you're sending traffic from Google like a Google ad from through a regular attribution link or regular Google link, then you're okay, right? Amazon loves that. Now Amazon provides you with an attribution link, which they love because that helps you track to your storefront and you can see all of the different metrics. But be careful what links you're using and from what sources you're using them from. So if you've got everything from Pinterest to Etsy to Google to Reddit, YouTube, Reddit, and Facebook Messenger, Facebook ads directly from Facebook ads, which we don't recommend. You have to be careful of several traps. The traps are what URL are you using, and then what is the conversion rate impact on your product. So if you send a lot of dead traffic, it can negatively impact your product. But that's only true from certain sources also. So that's another thing that I've just always assumed that if you send a bunch of dead traffic and lower your overall conversion rate, it's going to kill your keyword ranks, and then you shouldn't do that. But I've heard that if you send a bunch of traffic from certain very specific sources, then you're okay, you're safe. But I don't want to test it because I don't want to kill my product.
Oh, cool. So what else have we got to cover? Is there anything else you want to get across? Do you want to carry on ranting about ManyChat? Because I remember that you a while ago when it all kind of kicked off with the limitations and the other thing, and we mentioned it on the show. I'm sure he was on the show. I can't remember. Maybe you couldn't make it on, or you was on. It might have been Joshua was on. But they're talking about the complexity now is that you've got 4 to 6 terms of service, including the developer. So you've got the developer's term service, Facebook's term service, ManyChat's term, and then you've got Amazon term service that most people will know inside out. But once you collate all that together and the limitations there, it doesn't make sense really to use it. Sorry, guys, he's using ManyChat, but I don't use it, right? So I'm very biased. But I can't see the upside of using them anymore. I just can't. I don't know where the upside is coming from, unless it's to send signals,
Yeah, I don't know the upside there either. I think that as long as you can replace the messaging that you're trying to convey and the same purpose, and you can replace that off of Messenger, where you can freely re-engage that customer and capture their information, then I don't see the upside either, unfortunately.
Yeah. Cybee's come here. Hey guys, so if you're working your ass off and using every AMS channel to drive traffic, you are going to get punished. So
that's not 100% true, but you have to be smart about it, and you have to know which traffic to drive through which URLs and how to bounce it off and qualify it before you send it. The key is just qualifying the traffic before you send it to Amazon. I think that should always just be a policy in most people's minds. Now, if you're going to work on Google SEO and you're going to try to rank your products, then that can be super effective. That's traffic Amazon loves if it's organic Google traffic.
Yeah. Do you do any backlinks build to your listings at all? Do you take advantage of the authority of Amazon or?
No, we don't. So this was all newer to us, which is funny because we just put our head down and concentrated on Amazon for so long.
You haven't done bad, have you?
All of these other marketing channels and all of these other links and all of these other things that we're experimenting with now are just brand new to us. So I'm looking at like experts in the field, like Casey Goss and some of the other guys you've had on, and listening to what they're saying and just basically trying to implement them in my business and give as much feedback to my students as possible.
And where you at with PPC? Obviously, you only sell in the US market, right? That's your focus. So you just keep launching shit ton of products. You're not interested in going EU and other marketplaces. So what are your main things now? Is it really just PPC and some of the experiments you're doing now with outside traffic?
That's pretty much it. So we are driving what we like to do. Like we have, as one of the owners, just as disclosure, one of the owners of Rebate Key. Rebate Key is super useful. The key is that you need to make sure that you're not overdoing it, right? Like if your conversion rate is inconsistent or your conversion rate's too high, then you get punished for it as well. So you got to be careful with that. Yeah. So what I would say is, within Amazon marketing's ecosystem, PPC is ultra important for maintaining and growing ranks. You know that. But you can pull certain levers by sending a little bit of traffic. Just doesn't need to be a lot. Just a little bit of traffic that converts and does certain things for you at a very little slight difference to get an edge.
Cool. Well, I think we've pretty much covered everything. It doesn't need to be an hour long, the show. We've got it all compact. What have you got coming up at the moment?
Well, hopefully I'll be coming out to you in June, man. What's
Yes, June 26th. I haven't announced yet, so that's yeah.
Oh, you haven't announced it yet. I just kind of like spoiler alert, huh?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's sold out anyway, so it'll only go to the people that have bought tickets from last year that it got moved over. But yeah, we're looking at going June 26th, and then you got your workshop there. Evelyn's got his, and then we've got the event itself. Then we've got the boat party, and then the 2 after parties. So that's what I said to you the other day. Don't forget to bring a toothbrush because you're not getting home till Sunday morning at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's gonna be a heck of an event. Yeah, I mean, aside from that, I've got Seller Systems 2.0 that I'm releasing in the next 30 days. So for the first time, I'm going to be offering the opportunity to buy the course without joining the Inner Circle Mastermind. So that's going to be very unique because I can offer a lower price point for people to get in and at least learn the content and at a lower price point.
Sounds good. What is the best way to reach you?
You can reach me at seller-systems.com. Instagram is at Brandon.young_Amazon. And you can always DM me there.
Sliding into DMs, yeah.
Yeah, slide into my DM.
Cool. Guys, I'll be back here tomorrow. I'm going to be doing part 3 of my conversion optimization series. Tomorrow we're going to cover user feedback. So I use PickFu for 2 reports and 5-second tests. And what I'm going to do is show you how, and I'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we'll bring up the landing page for Databril and all the good comments, all the abuse that you get, and then actually reading in between the lines to build the conversion optimization report. So I'll show you how to take that data. Well, it's not data, it's qualitative feedback, but it's how do you read between the lines? How do you ask the right questions? So I run 3 reports. So the idea from this is that when we go and spend money on a next run of Facebook ads and AdWords ads, I've spent $170 to potentially save tens of thousands because we spent a lot of time. I mean, even basic schoolboy errors, the form doesn't work properly and it doesn't have inline validation. And there's so many little things that we do. So tomorrow I'm going to break everything down step by step. We'll go through all of the reports, the summary of the reports of all the changes, and what I would then sit down with the optimization team, go through, make all the changes. And then for future ones, we'll do benchmarking of all the analytics. I'll bring Sarah on, who's on the analytics team. And another one I want to do is break down how to build video content from scratch and on a budget, but obviously try and make it look epic and large. So this is a series I plan to do for about 6 or 7, just to break down everything and give you an inside view on all the stuff. So
that sounds awesome.
Cool. All right, Brandon, thank you so much for coming on. I know we end up getting you up early in the morning and you work through the night. So thanks again for your time, and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.
Great to see you, Danny.
You too. Bye.